May nare-remember ka ba? May naalala ka ba, Sir Regan, that your father specifically told you about how to manage a business?
Like for CEOs, I think you have to make sure that you anticipate needs, and that's the need that you have to cater to your clients. So sa kanya, ang nakikita kong gusto niya, sunod-sunod yung transaction. Ayaw niya yun, uutusan ka pa niya, nai-irritate siya doon. Ako rin, I became parang ganun, sabi ko, sa mga anak ko dito. Mind readers dapat kayo, ha? You have to observe ano yung aking ginagawa, you have to anticipate.
Kailangan alam mo na yung kailangan nila and you should be 10 steps ahead, parang ganun.
Yes. First, when you approach people, you have to have a sincere heart. Understanding what they really need and making sure they understand you too. If you understand them and exceeding what I think na yun pwede mong ibigay sa kanila, extra mile, is so important kasi doon magsa-start yung care ng tao na, ay, you care about for me pala.
Ano ba talaga yung recipe to become successful?
When you do something,
Best advice, dudugtungan mo lang, talking to me from your heart. Chito, becoming a CEO, you must be
first.
If you dream of becoming a CEO, watch this closely. Because my guest today was handed something most people would envy, and few could actually carry. A company, a name, a legacy built long before him. And here's the truth nobody tells you. Inheriting a business doesn't make you a CEO. Keeping it alive, growing it, honoring it, that's what makes you one. The buildings you work in, the bridges you cross, the homes your family sleep in, there's a good chance the steel holding them up came from his company. He is the CEO of Reagan Industrial Sales Incorporated, one of the biggest steel providers in the Philippines. Ask him the secret and he won't point to strategy or capital. He'll point to something higher, Jesus Christ. The company was built by his parents' hands, but when he took over, he brought in a new foundation. He rebuilt its culture on faith, a legacy he honored, and a purpose he added. And his leadership, he doesn't call them employees, he calls them family. Because people don't follow titles, they follow leaders who build with them. So if you want to know what it takes to carry a legacy and make it bigger than you found it, Reagan C. Welcome to Becoming CEO.
Una sa tanan, daghang salamat, Sir Regan, ug mayong buntag sa imo ha.
Maayong buntag, Chito. How are you?
Okay lang kayo. Sir, naiintindihan ko, of course, hindi naman talaga kayo Bisaya. Pero para sa, ano bang tawag? Diba, ako naman nahirapan mag-Tagalog, di ba? I don't think everyone knows na I have been endorsing your brand. At maraming salamat for trusting me. Ang Reagan Industrial Sales. 2 taon na ako sa Reagan Industrial Sales. At yung story kasi ni Sir Reagan, hindi ko talaga alam yung buong story ni Sir Reagan. That's the truth. That's why we're here. Yung sa akin lang is how he blesses me every time na kaharap ko siya, every time na nakikita ko siya, every time na napapakinggan ko yung mga speech niya sa kanilang mga anniversary or mga Thanksgiving events. At finally, it's happening because, you know, ang chit-chat is expanding. So, you already watched the first episode of Becoming CEO. Si Sir Regan ang pangalawang guest. And I thought, sabi ko, for Becoming CEO na segment, bakit ko ililimit yung audience to Bisaya community when everyone should hear the stories of successful CEOs? And para lang may idea kayo, Sir Regan, the reason why nilaunch ko yung Becoming CEO. Kasi I also want to be a CEO myself. And this year, I'm launching my own brands as well. So, yung pag-uusap natin ngayon, Sir Regan, it's really basically you mentoring someone or you sharing your insights. Parang, let's just say, para siyang guidelines or handbook. Ganun, doon magbabase yung discussion natin. So, but it's you're not only talking to me and helping me, you are talking to millions of Filipinos who will be watching the show.
Pressure yan sa akin.
Ay, pressure. Wag naman, Sir Regan. Ganito na lang, Sir Regan. I know that it's not your job usually to introduce yourself, no? To people, kasi kunwari may nakita ka lang sa mall, it's not really your thing to introduce yourself. Pero if you are to introduce yourself, yung very short lang, sino ba si Sir Regan?
Well, foremost, I think for RSK or for Reagan, no?
Yeah.
Tatay ako dito. I have to make sure that all my children, I call my employees my children, are well provided. It is my responsibility. Kami second generation na, no? So when my father passed away, my promise was to take care of the legacy that he left. And I said I would take care of the family, I will take care of the company and its people. Kasi my father started really with just 5 employees. My mom, siya, tsaka 3. Sila lahat yung... My father was the salesman, accountant, delivery man, and my mother was taking care of the accounting issues. And she wasn't even an accountant. She was a medical technologist na medtech yun eh. So, I think he grew up poor, and because of that, iba yung pagturing niya sa employees niya. Mind you, my father is very strict. Ay, naku, he had a temper. Pero he loved his people very much, and I saw that in him. And for me, sabi ko, when I promised that I would take care of the company and the family, sabi ko, this is supposed to be my purpose. You know, everybody who depends on this company, whatever the situation is, I have to make sure I can provide for them, and I have to sustain it.
The company that we're talking about, Sir Regan, ito yon. Ito mismo yon. So it's nagsimula siya, kung ano yung binibenta nyo ngayon, yun din yung nasimula ng parents mo or biglang nag-expand na to?
Hindi. The company started in 1968.
What was the name, Sir Regan?
It was already Regan
Regan
Industrial.
Okay.
Oo. Marami nagtatanong, bakit Regan? Sabi ko, aksidente yun. Because I think my father, when he started the business, he had to submit 5 names to SEC. Pangatlo ang Regan. Yung first 2, na-disapprove. So, naglanding na inapprove ang pangatlo, which is Regan. And then when my lolo found out, galit na galit. Kasi sabi niya, ano yan? Bakit yung pangalan ng apo ko ang ilalagay? Hindi tama, hindi ganyan, hindi ganito. So, long story short, wala. Ginamit na lang. They were only actually, we were selling mill supplies. Alam mo yung mga hard hat, grinding disc, welding rod, pati sandpaper. Can you imagine sandpaper ang binibenta ng parents ko noon? Tapos, I think came 1975, nagkaroon ng break si Daddy kasi may mga Japanese firms who came to the Philippines, traded in the Philippines, and introduced steel to him. So, doon na nagsimula, naging steel na. Mainly ang main line ng Regan. So it wasn't really bakal na talaga. Iba.
But can you walk me through the generations ng family niyo si Regan? Kasi kanina you mentioned that, you know, your mom, she came from a poor family. She's not really that rich, tama ba?
It's the opposite. It was my dad.
It was your dad?
It was my dad who came from a poor family. My mom's family actually well off. Very well off.
Are they
Multinational
both
sila.
Chinese?
Yes, they're both. So my mom, my grandfather I know came late 1800s. So nakapag-establish sila ng maraming businesses, no? So my mom was well off. And my dad, wala. My grandparents naman sa father's side, nakarating dito mga 1930s.
Okay.
Inabutan sila ng giyera dito. And my lolo was actually a veteran who fought for the war. Yes. So, ang lolo ko dati nasa Lucena sila, sa Quezon. Nagbebenta yun ng mga noodles, yung nakasaklay pa. So, and my lola naman, to augment the income, nananahi. So, nung nakaipon sila, naging magsasako naman ng lolo ko. Diyan sa may Dagupan Street, diyan sa may Tutuban, hilera yun ng mga magsasako. And yung mga sakong binibenta, mga jute. So, I know for a fact that ang kliyente ng lolo ko was Mr. Gokong Wei, yun dyan. Bumibili ng sako daw doon. So, during the harvest season, binibili yung sako, tapos my lolo buys it back. Doon yung naging source of income ng family ng papa ko.
And then si papa mo,
Married my mom, but since it's a Chinese family, the women are not given inheritances talaga. So
they had to start from scratch.
they had to start from scratch, and they borrowed some money from my lolo, it's maternal. And then, naalala ko, my mom said, wala silang kapital. But since she came from a well-known family, yung family's honor and name ang naging guarantee ng bangko na, o kapatid mo naman to pauutangin namin kayo. And my mother, who had nothing, sabi niya, I have to make sure with your dad na magbabayad kami on time. So it was that, you make good of your debt, kaya siguro nagkaroon ng trust, and then doon na nagsimula, nagkaroon ng ng credit line sa bangko, nakakapagbayad sila on time. Doon na siguro nag-start yung kanilang endeavor to make Reagan.
Ilan niya kayo magkakapatid, Sir Regan?
4 kami.
You're 4. And you're the
I'm the eldest.
eldest.
Yes.
Saan na yung mga kapatid mo ngayon?
3 kaming sunod-sunod. No? I was 68, my second brother 69 and 70. So initially 3 lang kami. And we were actually taken care of by our grandparents. Kasi ang sabi ng lola at lolo ko, since kayong mag-asawa are just starting, kami na ang mag-aalaga sa mga anak nyo. And I think all grandparents would like to spoil their grandkids, no? So doon, naghiwalay ang parents ko. They were at the business. Kami naman, we live with our grandparents. And then after a few years, yung bunso namin, no, he was born 77. So may agwat kami. So ako, sister ko, and my youngest brother, kami yun nandito sa Reagan. The second one had, he decided to do his own business. Not related to steel, but his own business. So ngayon 3 kami.
Yung mga kapatid mo na involved sa business nyo, dalawa.
Dalawa pa. Yes.
Growing up, yung influence ng parents mo sa nasimulan nila until you took over you took over the company.
Oh, yeah?
So, when you took over the company, was it a decision of your parents or was it a decision of yours na, I'll take care of the company?
Well, actually, in our family, it's expected that children will help and should help. And my father had a stroke when I was 27. So, nung 27 ako, I had to take care of the business. Parang bigla siya na stroke. Marketing lang ako noon eh. I think that was in 1995. It was 1995. So, bigla akong naging CEO.
Were you ready then?
Even though you're not ready, you have to be ready given the situation, no? And ako, my learning is that when you're put in that situation, una-una hindi ka dapat matakot. Kailangan you have to go forward and move. Kasi if you have fear set in, it immobilizes you. And I think I had no choice. Biglang naiwan eh. So, yun, kinaya namin 3. Kami, ako, yung pangalawa namin, at yung sister ko. Kami yun talaga. The youngest was still studying. So, parang go forward na lang. Dire-diretso na lang eh.
Ano yung mga pinagdaanan mo sa Reagan para to be familiarized with your business?
We were made to work during summertime sa kumpanya. So, ang summers ko, hindi yan enjoyed, leisurely. Hindi. Talagang kailangan ka. And I think it was the influence of my dad. He was a firm believer in, hard work. My dad, at a very young age, he became the padre de familia because my lolo got sick. So, at the age of 11, siya yung tumayong tatay because I think my lolo was bedridden for a year. Nagkaroon siya ng kidney issue. So, siya yung tumayo. So, I think it was a hard life for him. And, syempre, sa amin, na-translate din yun kasi stricto siya sa amin eh. Stricto siya sa akin, saka doon sa pangalawa namin. Sa sister ko at saka sa bunso, medyo iba na. Iba yung trato. But, I think it was exactly, if he wasn't strict with us, and nung nagkaroon siya ng stroke, hindi ko kakayanin. Sometimes I would look back before, sabi ko, he was hard on us. But it was actually divine providence because he was really preparing us. Sabi ko nga, I think the Lord really works in mysterious ways. And once you start questioning Him, hindi tama. Parang you just go with the flow. Sometimes you just have to blind obedience ba. So sabi ko yung blind obedience na yan will teach you a lot. Kasi you have to trust Him first. You have to have that faith. Of course, it's not a walk in the park. It's not always that, no? There are struggles. Pero I think in the end, when you really believe that He will help you, trusting His timing and His work, He will bring you where you should be.
Kaya ka hinanda na rin doon sa taking over the company.
Yes. My dad actually died when 10 years after. 36 na ako noon eh. Hindi naman siya dapat namatay. I think he died from a very simple operation in the States. And then, I think it was maybe his time. Kami rin nabigla. Totoo lang, I think a lot of people doubted that we would be able to continue because, in the 10 years that my dad had his stroke, on the 5th year, he came back. Kinuha niya uli yung
company.
He had to work, He had to work eh. And then during that work time, I think he became the leader again. And then nung namatay siya, na-reset na naman kami. I think a lot of people doubted us. Nakakayanin ba nito? Kakayanin ba nila? Kasi ngayon, the parents are, my father, who's the head, wala na. Though my mom has been a beacon of our strength talaga. She has been a good advisor. She has, my mom is my hero also. To me, she is our pillar. So, people doubted us. Pero you know what? At that time, it was a renewal of our faith. Kasi a few months before he died, no? We were invited again to a Bible study. Ako naman Kristiyano, pero totoo lang, minsan Christian, minsan hindi. And from that time on, when sabi ko nga, God was really behind it kasi we attended Bible studies again. I think that was March. It died July. So parang prepare na naman kami, no? So the faith was renewed. So when my father really got sick, he was 3 weeks in the ICU. We prayed for him and prayed for him and prayed for him until na hindi na talaga niya nakayanan. I decided to still continue praying and make it a habit of everybody. That's where we started praying every day. Sabi ko, hindi ko karapatan na magtampo sa Diyos because my father, hindi niya he died. And I said, no, we have to continue. And I think that was the foundation of faith that really strengthened us. And from that time on, he guided us through so many trials. But I should say that it was worth it because it was self-discovery, self-realization, self-actualization of what the purpose of all of this should really be. Mas naging strengthened yung purpose na dapat hindi lang naman yan for business profit. It should really be a purpose because that will drive you. That will really sustain you. Kasi pag walang purpose ang isang business, parang wala, kulang eh. It's not for money. It has to be something else. And I think over the years, we realized that our role changes. Your perspective changes. Dati, syempre, business lang to sustain. Pero ngayon, parang namumuong hindi lang pala siya dapat. It should be something else. It should not be tangible. It should be, we have a term here, overflow. Overflow what you have.
So are you saying you were growing magkasabay spiritually and then professionally sa trabaho mo?
Yeah, I should say so. And I'm very blessed because when we started the prayer, ang dami namin dito palang in the same faith or I think everybody believes in a God, no? Yeah. Kami here, it's Jesus Christ. And we would like to profess that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior of everyone. So dito, nagkaroon kami ng maraming prayer warriors. Ang dami namin dito. So nag-mushroom na lang na may grupo tayo dito na talagang, we have sa morning, mayroon kaming mga Bible study.
May devotions kayo.
May devotion. Ilang grupo yun, nagtitake over sila. So they plan how to make messages. They reach out to the different departments and to different anaks. Talagang, sabi ko, nagma-mushroom. So we're very happy kasi umaabot na rin kami sa ibang business units in Visayas, in Mindanao. So nagkakaroon kami ng group chat na, oy, mag-post nga kayo, lahat ba kayo nagdadasal? Kasi dati, hindi sabay-sabay. So we decided hindi. Gawin na lang natin lahat 8 o'clock para lahat sabay-sabay.
Pero hindi naman to mandatory.
Hindi naman, pero
It became a culture na.
it became a
habit.
culture.
Parang
Oo,
ganun.
oo. Pero tagahakot din ako pag di bumababa ang tao. Sabi
Pero
mo, baba
have you
kayo.
always been a born-again Christian, Sir Reagan? Or did it come from your parents?
You know what? My grandparents were devout Buddhist. They were actually against the Christian religion. But since we were enrolled in Grace Christian High School, and that's supposed to be a Christian school, wala. Naging na kami, believers na kami. But mind you my grandparents are very strict. From both sides, talaga. Very, very strict. When my father got sick, my mother, who is a devout Buddhist, actually kasi sa state siya whenever my 2 siblings, si Ja, my sister, and June, the youngest, would pray for my father when he was at ICU, he would become better. And I think from that time, my mother was praying to her Buddha. Pero pag nagpre-pray sila kay Jesus Christ, kay Lord, my father would become better that day. So parang when my father died and we introduced a lot of the Christian faith and prayer, she became more tolerant. So mas naging accepting kasi parang nakita niya siguro na may totoo pala yata, no? So, yun. As of today, we're still praying for her salvation and this is one purpose that I have to make sure that she does. And again, my mom is 87 and she has done a lot. She believes in overflowing also in her own way. So, yun. So, siguro ito ang overflow na to is overflow in many things, no? May isa nag-introduce nitong word sa amin dito I have an employee. Dati, nandito siya sa sales. Ang pangalan niya si Ryan. Actually, Ryan katakutan. Nakakatakot. But he's a very jolly boy. So, he takes care of our overflow program and he is our spiritual boss. Siya yun ine-engage ko na, Kawa, ayusin mo to, may mga retreats kami that we sponsor. So those sponsored retreats actually, you hear so many stories about renewed faith. At saka, there was even one employee was contemplating on doing suicide yata. Pero biglang hinatak siya pabalik. So sabi ko, wow, may reach talaga. So those are blessings for me.
Yeah, that's really good to hear, no? It's like, para na tayong, tuloy dito, 700 Club Asia.
700 Club,
Naging 700 Club Asia na tayo. But it's really good to know because I think I've always been vocal naman about my faith. That I'm also a born-again Christian. And yun nga lagi kong sinasabi, lagi akong nabibless every time I get to face Sir Reagan and hear his stories. But let's go back to becoming CEO. May nare-remember ka ba, may naalala ka ba, Sir Reagan, that your father specifically told you about how to manage a business?
My father, I think, nakita ko sa kanya more in action. He was never a good teacher. Ay, never yan. Ang moniker ko nga dito, mind reader dapat ako eh. Kasi magagalit yan pag hindi ko nagagawa yung gusto niya. Pero hindi naman niya sinasabi kung ano yun. So, I became a keen observer of, for example, ako yung secretary niya during the summertime. So, kung mayroon siyang gustong kausapin, makikinig ka sa kanya kung sino yung natapos niya at ano yung kanyang intention doon sa susunod na action. So, may kausap siya. Maya-maya, alam ko na, ito na yung susunod na kakausapin niya. So, ako, I will dial the number again. Pagbaba niya ng phone, ito na. So, it's kind of anticipating a need. Like for CEOs, I think you have to make sure that you anticipate needs, and that's the need that you have to cater to your clients. So sa kanya, ang nakikita kong gusto niya, sunod-sunod yung transaction. Ayaw niya yun, uutusan ka pa niya, na-irritate siya doon. Ako rin, I became parang ganun, sabi ko, sa mga anak ko dito. Mind readers dapat kayo, ha? You have to observe ano yung aking ginagawa, you have to anticipate. So like any CEO, you have to make sure that the need of a client is addressed. Hanapin mo muna yon. And then I think after that, alam mo na if you get that need, na-bullseye mo na, uy, ito pala yung kailangan niya, everything will follow.
So yun, you have to, kailangan alam mo na yung kailangan nila and you should be 10 steps ahead, parang ganun.
Yes, you have to, exceed the expectation. And everybody has to have that mindset. Kasi kung nakikita mo lang yan tapos sasabihin mo, you will only address the need when it is requested. Di ba? You will feel much better kung, di ba, when you go to stores or whatever, di ba? Yung tao na, ay, ma'am, ito yata hinahanap ninyo. O sir, ito yung hinahanap ninyo. Di ba you feel, uy, okay siya, mabilis siya, very proactive yung tao. And I'd like my people to have that mindset of being proactive. Because if not, everybody just following, parang kulang. Diba? Dapat ma-anticipate mo at ma-appreciate ngayon nung kausap mo o nung kadil mo yung ginagawa mong effort to extra effort yun eh. Importante yun eh. Yung extra effort na yun will mean a lot. You're not just doing one thing because it's expected. You have to exceed it. And when you exceed, you will be remembered.
So you discover that skill observing your dad.
Oo.
Is there any other skills na na-observe mo or na-acquire mo just by observing? Kasi yung nangyari sa'yo, practical yung learning eh. You said it yourself. Your father was a bad teacher. He's never a good teacher. So, lahat natutunan mo lang by observing. What else did you observe from your father na nakatulong ng malaki in handling a business?
My father is a very hard worker. Very, very passionate sa kanyang trabaho. Alam mo, minsan, sabi ko nga alam mo yung work sa kanya. Kasi he built a company. Sweat and tears niya talaga yun. Dati hindi ko naiintindihan but all parents really love their children and iba-ibang way pinapakita nila yung pagmamahal. Sa kanya, sa tingin ko, pinakita niya kung paano mahalin ng trabaho. Yun, very important. Kasi he was so dedicated to his work. Very much. Alam mo, sa gabi, after work, he would still, go through his list of inventories. I would see him doing that. Talagang very passionate siya. Mag-iisip ng strategies yan, kung paano gagawin. It was easier to strategize before because the competition was less, no? But right now, it's a bit more difficult. But it's his passion and love for the work. Yan, talagang naging ko yun. Parang Northern Star ko rin yun. Nakita ko, sabi ko, dapat mahalin mo ang trabaho mo.
But why was he passionate? Yun yung gusto kong malaman eh. Kasi like, di ba, usually even if you're a worker, di ba sinasabi, you have to be passionate about your work. But there are also stories na sometimes it's just, I just don't want it because this is not my line of work. This is, how can someone be so passionate about what they do? Yun yung gusto kong malaman. Was your father passionate about it? Because ano yung drive niya?
When my father actually married my mom, syempre, may kaya siya. He wanted to prove himself na when they married, it was not about anything other than loving my mom, diba? So, maski na may pera ang nanay ko, sasabihin niya na, I married you because I love you and I want to make sure that we start a life together. Sabi ko nga, my father had a very poor childhood. He didn't even finish college, you know. Hindi niya natapos kasi he had to work. So yun siguro yun the one thing that really made me admire my dad, no, at that point. Kasi hindi niya tinapos kasi kinailangan niya magtrabaho. So hindi siya natapos. Can you imagine where Reagan was when he left it, ano? He was really very successful. Kinikilala siya. So para sa akin, sabi ko, for somebody who did not finish his education, accountant siya sa UE. Kunikwento na yan night student siya. Sa daytime, he had to work. Yun. So, talagang second year lang, di na niya tinapos. And he had to work. And when he married my mom, he had to prove to everyone that kaya niya itaguyod ang family. And that's what really drove him. And aside from that, I think, growing up poor, you have challenges. I think my lola would always say, kailangan, whatever the status of your success, you have to be grounded kasi hindi ka pwede magmalaki. Ang sinasabi nila, ang buhay talagang bilog at ang mundo. Totoo yun. You can never know your status in life where you will be after so many years. So yun sinasabi ng matatanda na you have to make sure na lahat ng nadatnan mo doon sa buhay mo, aalalahan. Hindi ka pwede magmalaki. Wala kang dapat ipagmalaki. And some of those are CEO rules also kasi the people that became part of your success are really your foundation and your building blocks mo yan eh. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin after so many years, ay ganito na ako, hindi ko na sila kilala. Ang sabi ng lola ko, huwag mong kalilimutan saan ka nanggaling. Huwag mong kalilimutan yun. And my father adhered to that. And in his own many ways, he was a philanthropist. Magaan ang dugo niya sa mga hindi nakatapos ng pag-aaral, mga bata. Talagang, I will be surprised na narinig ko na, ay, nag-donate pala siya. Hindi ko alam. No, nag-donate na lang siya. Kasi naramdaman niya yung hirap eh.
When you said before your father left, Reagan was very successful when it was turned over to you. Gaano siya ka-successful in a way na para lang may ideas ang mga nanonood. Sino usually yung mga clients talaga niya? Kasi baka first time ko lang marinig si Reagan. Kasi usually iba yung naririnig namin na pangalan or maybe they only know hardware stores, doon lang sila bumibili. Sino yung mga para lang may can you say client, can you name some clients or bawal?
I
You
think
can.
pwede.
Yeah. So,
many of them are wala na.
It's okay. But yeah, sino talaga yung clients ni Reagan Industrial Sales?
My dad, I think with mining. Boom ang mining noong 70s, di ba? I remember names like Atlas Mining, now Carmen Copper, Lepanto Mining, existing pa siya, Benguet Mining, Marinduque Mining, yung mga mining firms na yan mga clients niya talaga siya. And then I know there were also construction companies like AGNP. Alam ko foreign yun or foreign ba yun? Anyway, Atlantic Gulf and Pacific Company. Yan mga old-time construction firm. Yung gumawa ng mga tollways dati, CDCP pa yun eh. Shows my age, no? Lahat yun. Those are big top corporations na bumibili ng bakal namin.
Did you experience si dad mo? Paano siya nagsimula na kausapin tong mga big companies na to? How did it start?
Hindi ko maalala. Oo, pero I know that he focused on the mining industry kasi yun ang boom noon time. So talagang doon siya. My father had a knack of negotiating with people. Magaan siyang kausap. As a client, magbebenta, magaan siya. Tsaka I think he's very, he adjusts to the needs of the clients talaga. Kung ano yung kailangan mo, dadalhin niya. Kasi yun naman talaga ang ending nun di ba? You really have to make sure that the need of the client is actually addressed. And the trust. Alam mo yung tiwala. Yan ang hindi matatawaran.
How do you build trust?
Oh, it's not instant, It's not instant. You'll be tried. I think first, when you approach people, you have to have a sincere heart. Understanding what they really need and making sure they understand you too. If you understand them and exceeding what I think na yun pwede mong ibigay sa kanila, extra mile, is so important kasi doon magsa-start yung care ng tao na, ay, you care about for me pala. Iba I think when you approach people sincerely, iba yung dating, Hindi lang transactional. Pag transactional, mabilis yan benta ako, bili ka, tapos na. Hindi Yung talagang care mo doon sa tao. And we always say this at Reagan, there has to be care in everything that we do. Because that defines you. As a person, whether it is person to person or as a businessman, iba yun Pag may tiwala at saka yung pangangalaga, iba yung nararating.
At yun yung nakuha mo din from your father?
Yes. He really does. One of the things that he really cares, talagang ano siya. Tsaka, alam mo, my father, may palabra de honor yan. I remember at times, no, when he would commit, tapos nalugi siya doon sa kaduluduluhan, he will fulfill. Yan ang lesson na I think na natutunan ko kasi not all transactions you will make money. May mga sacrifices kaya at saka may nangyayaring hindi mo talaga inaasahan. So it's actually how you come and mediate. You know, magkaroon kang middle ground, pero yung word of honor, importante yun. You can have no credit line. My mother would always say, wala naman puhunan tayo dati. Ang meron lang tayo, yun ating commitment and word of honor. Yun ang tunay na kayamanan. Yun ang tunay na puhunan ng bawat isa. You can have all the money and people don't like you because you don't pay. Adi wala rin. But pag wala kang pera pero you pay, people will run to you.
Kanina, I asked you about your family background, Sir Reagan. You know, you're from a Chinese family. And yung question ko lang talaga is, I don't know if I would sound very innocent or a little bit stupid, but is it innate for Chinese people to be negosante talaga? Or depende rin?
I think nasa dugo talaga yun.
Nasa dugo talaga.
And you know what? When the Chinese came to the Philippines, they were already merchants talaga. Di ba? Tsaka talagang ano yan, yung mga aggressive talaga sila. Aggressive talaga sila. Kaya ang intindi ko dyan talaga, you go to all countries, no? Everyone who is someone has Chinese roots. Right. And I think it's because of yung talagang innate in the Chinese na talagang sa hirap ng galing, talagang itatawid nila yan, whatever. Ang sisipag talaga.
Not everyone can be really, really rich. At my age right now, yun yung naiintindihan ko little by little, the balance of nature, ika na not everyone, you know, can die rich. The same goes that not everyone will die poor. Ano yung filosofiya mo pagdating sa ganito, Sir Reagan, knowing that you are the CEO of Reagan, you have employees, but how do you see them? How do you lead them to a better life? Ika nga.
Ako ay na-inherit ko yung impatience ng dad ko. Talaga. Kaya sa office, sabi ko, I want things to be done right. No? Tsaka, ako pag nakikita ko yung dedication ng tao, I would mentor you. And, you know, here, another word that we want to really profess. Yung mentoring, kasi over the years, we realized that yung mentoring pala, hindi lang sa iilan, dapat bumaba. And this is, you know, our culture building, we should really start. We are resetting, no? Especially this year, resetting culture building to instill all our 8 C's at saka yung 8 core values na dinefine ng bawat isa. So, doon lang masisimulan na natin yun I think you have to have a purpose and a guide to everything, and this is exactly what we're trying to do, especially this year.
I've spoken to several CEOs, and the way I understand you is you're sort of different kasi you have this personal relationship with your employees. Ito yung nakakatawa. That's why it's a little bit interesting. Not a little bit. It's really interesting to me. Na may mga CEOs na meron naman ako mga tao sa grupo ko, delegation whatsoever. Sometimes they do not even have that interaction with just sa pinaka low level. And then knowing you have this personal relationship with them. How is it for you? Why are you like that? I know because you're Christian, but why do you have that? Kasi medyo na-amaze ako dun sa mentorship Knowing na ikaw na nga yung tatay. I'm basing this, Sir Reagan, usually sa mga setup na yung mga, big companies, very formal. Ba't makipaghalubilo sa mga I have people to do that. But you're very hands-on. Talagang you go to the level of kung saan man yung mga empleyado mo. Why?
I don't know. This is me. No? First of all, I think we're not a very formalized corporation. Ayoko yun formal Hindi rin kami very informal. Yeah. So I would rather say, I think it's more of a mentoring thing to the people. No? Ako siguro ito. I don't want people to be left out. Because once you have that, in a company, this is a company and it is a family. So yun Pamilya kami na may pinagdadaanan. Sabay-sabay tayong aangat, no? And I think mentoring is so important because over the years sabi ko, pag hindi ko mentor, mag-isa lang ako. Ako lang nakakaintindi. Pero when you have people understand where you're coming from, you mentor them, you cascade that down to them, sabay-sabay tayo. It's less like a boat, di ba? Ang dami-daming nating nagsasagwan. Pagkatapos yung nagsasagwan, may left, may right, may back, may forth. If everybody has a compass and everybody follows that, edi dire-diretso tayong lahat sabay-sabay. So, yun pagiging, ewan ko, yun, I like to approach people, I want to see how they are. That's me siguro, kasi I want to understand my people, and if I can help you, I will help you. Kasi, ano ba yung purpose natin? Hindi naman just for the corporation, hindi ba? Parati kong inuulit. Sabi ko kasi, ang mga tao natin, pamilya na rin yan eh. Of course, not all kids are good. Meron ako talagang napapagalitan, meron yun talaga. Pero in the end, I think it's really existing harmoniously. This company will not be where it is if the people will not feel that they are loved. So ako, parang feeling ko, this is my way of, expressing my concern and my care for them. So sabi ko, importante yun, may mentoring talaga.
Yung mentorship, are we talking about the typical mentorship where you talk to somebody and then, you give them words of advice, or how do you do mentorship? And to what extent of an employee level do you approach someone for mentorship?
For advices, I don't know. They don't approach me with personal problems. Hindi ako yan. Pero ako, I've always said that kung ano ang meron ako, I will teach my people. I cannot keep it to myself and, parang akin lang to. Because akin lang. I cannot be selfish with my experiences. For my people here, I will tell them, eto ang naging experience ko, ituturo ko sa inyo. Even if you leave me at binaon mo yan, that's still yours. I mean, I won't be, yung mga advices na yan, hindi yan, secret ko to eh. Hindi. Bakit ko gagawin yun? Kung dito pa lang, they can live it off. No? They can exude that. Di dala mo yan wherever you go. I'm very happy that many of our ex-employees would come here and, some of them will visit us. Uy, thank you for all the mentorship. Thank you for being strict daw kasi nadala nila. So to me, that's my achievement kasi I think pamana mo yun eh. That's their inheritance eh. And, when you teach them all these things, I think whether they will absorb it or not is another thing. Pero sabi ko, hindi ka magdadamot. You cannot be selfish about what you can teach and you can mentor because you grow together. And it's not meant to be kept. It's meant to be shared. It's meant to be overflowed.
When you decide na ganun yung magiging structure niyo, where, again, it's not just a corporation, it's a family. Was it a decision because, kumbaga, unknowingly, yun yung nagiging culture ninyo? Or kinailangan mo lang talaga, Sir Regan, na, why not do this method? And was there ever, may mga cons ba? In terms, kasi yun yung, di ba, yun yung yung sinasabi nga nila na employer and employee relationship. Sometimes when you become too comfortable, when you become so open with, welcoming, nawawala yung boundary. How do you set boundaries? These questions, Sir Regan.
Yeah, sometimes may mga issues na ganyan. That's why siguro I think I don't take personal problems. Huwag kayo pupunta sa akin with personal problems kasi sabi ko, hindi ko realm yan.
Yeah.
Pero when it comes to professional side, yes. I think we realize that it's a family setup. May disadvantage yan kasi nagiging parang pamilya, wala talagang structure. So that's why I think, knowing that, nagkaroon na kami ng mga definitions of yung sinasabi ng mga KPIs and everything. Corporate. So yun, yung mga corporate na yan ini-instill namin ngayon yan para everybody knows targets. Yeah. Everybody knows where they are coming from. Pero hindi mawawala yung pagiging pamilya because I think the strength of Regan is actually in its people. And that, when they feel that, I'm a very strict dad, I can be talagang, minsan pag nagagalit, no? I have to admit. Pero in the end, sabi ko, tayo? It's just to learn from each other. So, sa akin, I think setting formal KPIs and SLAs and all of this should be and is being done and is being defined and is redefined. Right. Pero hindi pwedeng mawala yung touch na talagang yung tao pa rin, in the end, you have to take care. People are not numbers. People are not about targets. People are people. And they will remain my kids. They will remain part of our Regan family.
How do you translate that, Sir Regan? Kasi baka yung iba, like ako, how does it work? Becoming treating it as a family in a corporate setting. When you said na, people are not numbers. At the end of the day, they are humans. They're tao sila. What do you mean exactly by that? Do you forgive people once? Ganun ba? Like, how?
Oh, yeah. Forgiveness is the big word. Yes, it does. But you know what? To be honest, for me, I think if you give numbers to people, yan naman ang kailangan eh. Yeah. You mentor them to reach those numbers. Okay. And if skills are lacking, that's where you come in also. You teach them up to what you can. If you say that talagang hindi na na kaya ng bata, sasabihin parang hindi mo talaga kaya. This work is not for you. Pero I think importante yun na ma-achieve ang isang aspect ng business because that's part of it eh. Pero never lose the personal touch into anything. Kasi I don't believe in being strictly just numbers o yung target lang. Nawawala yung character ng
Ano
company.
yung personal touch? I'm sorry. Of course, I know what personal touch is. But by when you say personal touch, can you give examples on how you do that in your office? Or in your company?
Ako kasi pag may naririnig ko, may nagkasakit o ang anak or whatever, kumusta yun? Kumusta na anak? Oo, kasi gusto ko rin malaman paano ka na, di ba? I mean, simple gestures like that, they're not scripted. But para bang, kumusta ka na? Ano nangyari sa anak mo? And then you will hear stories. And then, I learn from stories. You know, whenever they relay their situations, hindi ko nakikita yun eh. Hindi naman natin nakikita lahat eh, di ba? Mamaya, may maririnig ka na lang na nilakad niya papunta dito, pauwi siya, ganito. Parang, okay. Hindi ko naman experience yun eh.
Do you feel hurt when you hear this?
I want to help, no? Especially if I can, you know? Parang feeling ko minsan, "Hoy anak, balisa ka ngayon. What's happening to you?" Yung mga kwento kong ganyan, you know, I want to help.
Na-mention mo kanina, Sir Regan, that your father once naging philanthropist siya.
Yeah.
You know, he loves to help people. Hindi naman like super kilala ko si Sir Regan. But napapansin ko sa kanya at based na rin syempre sa mga kwento ng mga kakilala ko dito sa Regan Industrial Sales. Very low-key kasi talaga si Sir Regan. He doesn't brag whatsoever. But do you also, is that something na pick up pa rin from your father helping?
Oo. My dad he doesn't flaunt. My mom also. You know, my mom's family, I think, no? My dad wala siyang ganyan. My mom's family is also low-key. So, I think, hindi naman kailangan talaga eh. You know what? Sometimes, when you get invited to big parties, no? I was invited to one big party once. And when I saw everybody who's who there, when I came home, I suddenly realized, nakakalasing pala. Nakakalasing because somehow parang ang feeling ko after that party, sabi ko, you wanted more of that. And it becomes self-recognition that you want when you appear. When you get there, ay, kilala ko to. Parang you yearn for it. Pero sabi ko, nakakalasing yun. Yung mga ganyang parties, for me, parang ayoko. It changes you after a while and you lose touch of who you are. You become somebody who you want to be. Sabi ko, I don't want to be yung ganun na kinakain ka na. Parang you become, ewan ko, those parties become superficial at saka iba. And then you want more, you want to get invited this, you reach for something na hindi mo naman dapat because kinakain ka.
Tapos mawawala ka sa foundation mo.
Precisely. Kaya sabi ko, if you get invited, yes, I would rather sit at I mean, you're invited for pero ayoko hanapin. Ayoko yung mga ganyan. Hindi ko yun. It's not me. It's not my cup of tea.
I see, ito yung interesting sa becoming CEO na show na to. You know, I get to hear a different approach. Iba-iba talaga. Sir Regan, sorry kanina when I asked you about your father na becoming a philanthropist, nakuha mo din ba na trait na yan?
Yeah. Yes. He loves his people very much. Talagang alam mo, he has a soft heart. Alam mo, pag wala yan sa trabaho, ang bait-bait niya. Alam mo, my father loved us very much. And when I was, growing up, every Sunday, kasi we moved to Makati, and then ang office nasa downtown. Ganun ang setup nung I was growing up. So he would bring me Sundays talaga. The effort of bringing me around and buying what I wanted. And, of one thing, hindi nagbibilang yan. He brought me once to Makati. Nilabas ako. Got me from my grandparents. We went, anong gusto mo dyan? Naalala ko, ang pinili ko, encyclopedia. Naalala ko rin, 300 plus yun. In 1970s, ang mahal-mahal nun eh. So that set of encyclopedia became what I read every day. Parang yun ang naging, my book of knowledge. And he was like that. Pag hindi siya nagtatrabaho, tatay ko talaga siya. Pag nagtatrabaho siya, boss ko siya. Ganun ang setup. And, like I said, all parents show their love differently. As a parent today, sabi ko, hindi mo rin pala po pwedeng i-expect. Hindi pwedeng i-expect. Oprah Winfrey once said, she was born out of wedlock and then she questioned how her mother treated her. And then may nagsabi sa kanya, do you know that's the best that she can give because she grew up in a different situation. So sabi niya, para sa kanya, yun na yung best niya eh. Ikaw, if you have another best that you give to your siblings or to your, iba rin yung definition na yun. Pero do not question that parents don't love you. Parents love you and they have given, because iba yung setup nila, hindi ba? My grandfather and my dad, I think my dad really was treated so strictly that he didn't have a childhood at all. And I think that made an impact on how determined he was in life. pinamana niya rin sa amin yun, no? My dad was kind of formal, strict, and loving all at the same time, bordering on more of being strict. Kaya minsan construed differently. But now, as we age, I then realize, sabi ko, my dad loved us very much. In his way. Yun.
You as a parent, in terms of business, entrepreneurship, ano yung training na nadaanan mo from your father na ina-apply mo ngayon sa kanila? Are they also involved in your company?
No. Well, I have my kids, no? The third generation hasn't come in. I have nephews and nieces also, no? They are not yet in. But for me, of course, we'd like a third generation to continue.
Yeah.
And I always say that with third generation, it is important for us to share our knowledge. Alam mo, we have different generations and different mindsets, hindi ba? Parang we grew up kasama, hindi ka kasali. I grew up really more para bang sumunod ka. And then you came the Gen Z, na iba ang setup. And then may millennials ka rin. Meron ka rin kung ano-anong generation yan eh. So sabi ko parang, I expect them, but we have to adapt to the generation. Feeling ko nga, if there's no third generation who will continue, I have my very loyal managers who can sustain, di ba? And hopefully, any of the third generation that can come in would realize that it is still a purpose and not a business deal, di ba? That is whatever I want to live with them kasi yung legacy eh. Don't lose the touch na, don't treat people as, employees. Treat them as family again.
So, wala namang ganung mga dialogues with your children?
Meron. May mga dialogue na ayaw, may mga dialogue na okay lang. So, sabi ko, we're still praying for it. Let's see.
How many kids do you have, sir?
I have
again?
2.
You have 2?
I have 2.
And then, are they still studying? Or?
They're still studying.
You're still
Yes,
studying.
yes, yes.
Ano yung courses nila, if I may ask?
The other one is economics.
Okay.
The other one is in marketing. So, it's kind of related.
Pero wala ba silang yung mga, Dad, I'm interested to do this in the future? Or walang mga ganun? Wala pang ganun?
My daughter is, she wanted to be a doctor. Tapos, well, sabi ko, sige, whatever you want. And then mamaya, she changes her mind. Mamaya, she wants to go to science again. Sabi ko, I leave it to you. Bahala ka na. She talks about her plan more with her mom. Ako naman I just hear snippets eh. Ako lang yung sige, okay. And then I decided, sabi ko, sila na bahala. I hope they will. No? Thinking na, we need help also. My son is more receptive to helping. We hope that they can and they will. I have nieces also who will come and help. Sabi ko, well, we need, no? But like any big corporations, I think once you let them in, you have to make sure that they are capable.
Okay.
I remember yung mga Aboitiz families ng Cebu. They can only enter if qualifications are met. So sabi ko, dapat ganun din dito. Pero let's see how it evolves.
Before we end our chit-chat, sorry again. Kasi right now, na-realize ko lang, in the middle of crisis, tama ba? Nasa crisis pa tayo,
Crisis
di ba?
pa tayo, oo.
Nasa crisis pa tayo. Well, let's not talk about the pandemic. Of course, napagdaanan niyo na yan. But right now, but usually in general, kasi nasa crisis tayo ngayon. I won't ask you na if you're affected. Of course, I think everybody's affected.
Everybody, yes.
How do you ensure your employees that they are still okay? How do you handle that? How is it to you being the father of your company?
Alam mo, in any crisis, we have to ensure that they are safe. And we will continue. Even during the pandemic, when it hit talaga, I think for our family, we have to make sure that all our employees are provided for. And I should say that during the 2-month lockdown, we made sure that meron silang inuuwi na salary or advances kasi saan sila patungo? Hindi mo naman pwedeng pabayaan sila. And then when it kind of normalized, it did dawn on us na talagang kailangan nga natin silang tulungan at sila. So to assure them that they will be well taken care of whatever the situation, that's the first assurance that we have to give them. Kung ano man yung dumating na sitwasyon, kagaya nitong crisis na to, may opportunities din naman yan eh. Pero ang opportunities na yon, meron din mga learnings na kasama. So I think we grow together, and I would always look at crisis as something that you need to go through. And there are purposes in every crisis. Right. Everything that happens, diba? Sinasabi nga, everything that happens is for the good as long as you trust Him. So ako, basta sabi ko, kung may crisis yan, malalampasan yan. Walang hindi malalampasan. Sa dami-dami ng nangyari sa buhay mo at buhay ko. Sino ba magsasabi where we're standing today? We went through a lot, diba? So it's really His grace and His love for us that sustain us. And there's no problem na masasabi natin hindi masosolve. No, there's no such thing. Wala. Hindi ako naniniwala doon. Basta, meron tayong paniniwala sa Kanya, meron din tayong paninindigan sa Kanya, He will sustain us. He will really sustain us.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Regan. Sir Regan, quick chat.
Oh no. Parang ano to okay.
Fast talk. Hindi naman siya fast talk
Sige.
talaga. You can expound, you can explain a little, but ano ba talaga yung recipe to become successful?
Ay, naku, idasal mo muna. Somebody said, and I've shared this with my anak here before, when you do something daw, you have to pray for it first and then you plan. Kasi daw, ang ginagawa ng karamihan, magpla-plan ka ng sarili. Tapos, if you encounter problems, then prayer will come. It should be the opposite. You have to pray first. You have to have guidance. Pero on the corporate side, kung ano yung dapat mong gawin, you have to make sure ano ang capabilities mo. You have to address a need. You have to be capable. You have to have the right capital. Don't overextend. Don't borrow money pagkatapos maiipit ka sa dulo kasi you have to have that leverage. And my mom always said, do it slowly. Huwag kayon, you will jump and leap tapos hindi mo na ma-handle. It's hard to collect. So do it slowly daw. Sabi ko, okay. Kasi sometimes if I run too fast, sabi niya, sandali, hinay-hinay lang. Plan it properly, do it slowly, at aabot ka din doon. Huwag kang tatakbo tapos mahuhulog ka. Mahirap daw yun. Sabi ko, magandang analogy yun, ano?
So you pray and then you plan.
You have to plan, yes. So those are very important steps. And in planning, I think it's never perfect, but it's really I like to collect thoughts also from my people, you know? Whenever we have meetings, anong opinion mo dyan? Anong opinion mo dito? Anong opinion dyan? And I realized, alam mo, my ideas are nothing to theirs. Marami palang ganun na mas maganda idea na, okay yan na. So sabi mo, it's a collab of all. So I think in doing that, I think when people are free to talk, free to share, that's where ideas really become good ideas, better ideas. Yeah.
What is success to you, Sir Regan?
Success should be purposeful. If you don't have a purpose in everything that you do, it becomes meaningless. If you collect lang, sabi ko nga, over the years, para bang, it's not about material things, it's not about status, it's not about name, it's really leaving a legacy. And that legacy should something be intangible, and that should last through generation. And I think all of us have legacies to leave. Lahat tayo meron, not the CEO lang, lahat meron. May maiiwan ka, may maiiwan ng tao dito, may dadalhin ka rin. So you have to make sure that you overflow all those. I mean, I've been overextending the word overflow kasi sabi ko, talaga naman dapat eh. Ano yung meron tayo, maibigay mo.
Dark side of becoming successful.
Don't let the system eat you. You have to be focused kasi if you have too much of everything, you become too overconfident. And then you will magigising ka na lang na, ay, nawala lahat. Sabi ko, yun ang one thing na medyo masakit. But, and you know, you have to, huwag mong kalimutan lahat ang tumulong sa'yo. Lahat sila dapat nandoon din. Sila rin naman talaga ang tumulong sa'yo eh. It's not the people at the end. It's really people at the start of it, di ba? That really made you. And to recognize them is your best way of really acknowledging that they have been part of who you are today.
Sir Regan, you're talking to me who wants to be a CEO and to the rest of the people who are watching this right now na ito na yun, bakit? This is my signal. Ituloy na rin. You're talking to me. I know that you're a father to your anaks here in the company. And I'm sure, ituturing mo na rin akong... Anak na muna ngayon. Huwag na kumpare mo na. As anak. Best advice, dudugtungan mo lang. Talking to me from your heart. Chito, becoming a CEO, you must be.
You must be first prayerful because everything emanates from Him. And you have to love your work. You have to be passionate about it. And remember, ang mga tao mo are your real jewels because they are the only ones who will define who you are. You can't be alone. Sabi ko nga, in the end, sabi ko, hindi mo kaya yan. And everything that one achieves is not because of one person. It's because it's collective. And on the business side, you have to make sure that you address the need and you exceed the expectations of your clients because that's you. Ikaw lang yun eh. Ikaw lang makakapagbigay nun eh. And once you have done that and you truly care for your client, ramdam nila, they will come back. They will love you, they will patronize you because you care for them.
Sir Regan. Ang dami ko natutunan, promise. And I really enjoy this conversation, this chit-chat. Maraming salamat.
Thank you also for being a part of our family. Thank you so much.